There is no stopping Liverpool. It really is that simple, and I hope that everybody has understood that. Liverpool are too good. They are beyond. They are incomparable. They are unrivaled. They are unmatched. They are quite clearly the best team in the country. By a country mile, in fact. They are the best team in the country, and they are led by a shining star of a manager. Liverpool are going to win the Premier League. It is now a formality. Nobody really comes close. Nobody really has challenged them this season. They are the team that can. They are the team that find a way. They are the team that have the answer. And they are the team that never say die. And when we look back on the season, one day we look back over the season, this weekend that we have just had is pivotal. This is the weekend that the league was won. This is the weekend that was that seminal moment in the season. If you've ever seen your team win a Premier League title, you know how it happens. Trust me, you can remember it. You know when it's going to happen. Chelsea went away to Blackburn Rovers under Jose Mourinho. Arjen Robben scored a goal. We beat Blackburn Rovers 1-0. Aaron Mokoena fouled at Arjen Robben and broke his foot. That was the day that we won the league title. We knew it was in the bag that very day. And trust me, the weekend that we have just had was that moment. It was that moment of realisation when it moves from optimism to genuine belief. When it moves from hope to real expectation. And that moment for Liverpool happened this weekend. The 17th of January, 2025 is that weekend. It's the Lightbulb moment. It's when it clicked. Liverpool were going to be champions. It's inevitable. There is no stopping them. It's an inauguration that will come very soon. Liverpool will be paraded as champions of England because on the very same day that Liverpool go away from home to play a tricky tie against Brentford. The G-Tech is not an easy place to go and win. Brentford's home form, simply sensational. Liverpool go there. They're struggling. They're throwing the kitchen sink at Brentford. It's not really going their way. They've thrown everyone on. They've thrown everything at it. They've even got Chiesa on the pitch. It's not looking good. Suddenly, 2 late goals beat Brentford. What happened in their rivals match? Arsenal failed to hang on to a 2-goal lead at home for a victory that would have most certainly kept the pressure on, kept the title race alive. When Arsenal were capitulating in that way, and you juxtapose it with Liverpool winning in that way, that 4-point swing is the weekend that it became insurmountable. Liverpool are doing what champions do. They are behaving like champions elect. They are finding a way. It isn't about performance. Sometimes in football, it's all about ideology. Are your team playing a particular way? Are you seeing the patterns of play? Are you seeing the development? Are you seeing individual brilliance? Are you seeing individual play? It's not about that at the moment. For Liverpool and Arsenal, who are head-to-head at the top of the Premier League title, trying to pin one another back, the only thing that matters is outdoing your rival. There's no such thing as a good performance if you don't win. There's no such thing as a bad performance if you there's no such thing as a good performance if you don't win the game. And there's no such thing as a bad performance if you do win the game. It really is that simple. So if you're an Arsenal fan, and you know, of some Arsenal fans I was watching the game with, one in particular, a good friend of mine from TalkSport, a guy called Luke Henry, who's been on this very channel, he was dejected, but he was actually full of pride. He said, we played really well today. It just wasn't our day. And I had to counter it. I just don't think it matters. It isn't about that. Today, Arsenal cannot play well if they don't take the 3 points. It really is that simple. Arsenal tried. They huffed and puffed, but they were 2-0 up. They had the game by the scruff of the neck, and they ultimately let it go. They were winning a game that they should have got over the line, and somehow they didn't. The opposite happened with Liverpool. Liverpool were playing in a game that could have so easily ended a draw, but they found a way to victory. They found that elusive goal that they so desperately craved. And do you know what it took? It took their 36th attempt at goal to score. That's how resilient they were. That's how determined they were. That's how desperate they were. They were relentless, and they got what they wanted from the day, because Arsenal allowed a 2-goal lead to slip against Villa at home. The game finishes 2-2. It's just not good enough. And now, off the back of everything that we saw, Liverpool 6 points clear at the top of the league with a game in hand. Like, I believe that Liverpool are going to win the league because they are devastatingly brilliant. Like, in my opinion, the reason Liverpool are going to win the league is because they are head and shoulders above anyone else in the country. Individual brilliance, Virgil van Dijk has been unparalleled this season. Mohamed Salah has been the best that Mohamed Salah has ever been. I believe that Luis Diaz is a sensational footballer who doesn't get anywhere near the credit that he deserves. Ryan Gravenberch, we should talk about him in superlatives for hours at a time. But if you don't agree with me, if you think that Liverpool look vulnerable, if you think that there is maybe a chink in the Liverpool armour, if you believe that maybe there is a world in which you could exploit this Liverpool team, maybe you don't necessarily believe that Arne Slot's as good as I do. Let's pretend that that is the case. It still doesn't matter. Liverpool are going to win the league. Because even if there is something to exploit, even if there is a way to get at this Liverpool team, what side are going to exploit it? Certainly not Arsenal. Genuinely, I ask you the question, what team can find a way to make the most of the deficiencies in this Liverpool team, if in fact the deficiencies do exist? A lot of people seem to think they do. A lot of people seem to disagree with him. When I talk about how brilliant I think this Liverpool team are, a lot of people say, no, I don't know, you could get them midfield. I feel like the fullbacks are fine. Name the team that can do it. Name the team that can actually make this count. So you'll go, Trent Alexander-Arnold's had his head turned by Real Madrid. Okay, I agree. Who can exploit it? Nobody. Because Liverpool compensate so perfectly. That's what the brilliance of Arne Slot is. Andy Robertson isn't the player that we thought he was, or the player that he once was, is more fair. Agreed. Who exploits it? Literally nobody. Like Arsenal are meant to be the team that can exploit it, right? Arsenal are meant to be the team that are going to push this Liverpool team all the way. Arsenal are further along in their development. Arsenal are further along in their phase of Arteta, right? This Arsenal team aren't going to do it. This Arsenal team have dropped 12 points from winning positions this season. That's soft. That's not resilient. That is not what champions are made of. Like, you never ever give away a lead cheaply. You've got to defend it with your life. And if you are going to chase this Liverpool team down, it will be done via graft. You will have to be a major Pat Rafter to somehow drive this Liverpool team down, to wear them away, to make them become a nub of their former selves. You will have to go via grit, via determination, and via steel. You are not telling me that this Arsenal team, who have given a lead away on 12 different occasions, like they have dropped 12 points from winning positions. That is not what we are talking about here. That is genuinely not what we are talking about. So, this Arsenal team, they are not made for the fight. If you think about the resilience that you need to be a championship team, think about how resilient you have to be. Let's use Liverpool. In fact, they're a great example to use here. Let's use Jurgen Klopp's Liverpool to demonstrate the resilience that you need, right? We can do the same team, in fact, right? The Liverpool team that won the Premier League title and the European Cup. What did they do? How did they do it? They went all the way in the Premier League title race, tooth and nail. They were fighting nip and tuck with Man City, and they managed to accrue 97 points, and they didn't win the league. What happened the following year? To demonstrate this resilience, what happened the following year? They won the league at a canter, winning it at a record early point. They demonstrated the exact same brilliance in the European Cup. They went all the way to Kiev. They lost in heartbreaking circumstances. What did they do the following year? They bounced back 100 miles an hour and they won it in Madrid against Tottenham. Resilience, determination, grit, all of the things that I'm saying you need to win a title. Arsenal are a very good team. Mikel Arteta has done a very good job. They have some sensational players. They have a couple of world-class players. But you see the levels, right? You see the difference. Arsenal aren't about the life that I just demonstrated. They are a good team, developing. They need more time. They did really well last year. They managed to accrue, 89 points? This could be the year where they kind of reset and they go again next year. But they are not ready to challenge this team because this Liverpool team are just brilliant. They are full of determination. Are Arsenal really about that life? I mean, Arteta's team, they just don't have the steel to chase down Liverpool and get it over the line. Like this Liverpool team, they're bold. They're brave. They go for the jugular. They are up for it. Like, look at how they beat Brentford. They threw everything on. Clever, tactical tweaks from Arne Slot. Intuitive substitutions from Arne Slot. Getting everyone on the pitch. All of the attack. Harvey Elliott on the pitch. Chiesa on the pitch. And make it count. We saw him do something similar when they played Forest. Do you remember how they went for it? They took Andy Robertson off. Fair enough. That doesn't seem particularly maverick. But they also took off Konate. They took off a centre-half when they were 1-0 down. They asked Ryan Gravenberch to play a hybrid role as a midfielder and as a defender. in order to get the attackers on the pitch and somehow get back in the game. And it worked. Jota comes on, he scores within seconds, and from that point, Liverpool should have won the game. Sells had the game of his life. Being brave gets you there. He's a gambler, and he is really, really going for it. Ultimately, I think of those words when Thierry Henry spoke so brilliantly and so articulately about winning the league title. You have to go and you claim it. You don't not lose a title. You have to go and win it. I think that Arsenal, they have a slightly conservative approach. They're relying on set pieces. They are trying to not lose a title. Arne Slot is going to win a title. And ultimately, if you go and claim it, it will be yours. You win a league by being bold. You don't win a league by giving 2 goals away at home. Arsenal can count themselves unlucky. You know, when Mourinho scored that goal, when it hit Havertz's hand, the story could have been different. And the 4-point swing today, in a parallel universe, we are talking about Liverpool dropping points and Arsenal ramming home the 3 points. But it wasn't to be. And today will be the day that the league title was won. Today will be the weekend that we know it was in the bag. Thank you so much for watching this video. Do you agree with the points that I've raised? Really interested to hear your thoughts. I hope you've enjoyed it. If you have, please do me a favour, click subscribe. I would love to welcome you into this community. Let me know your thoughts in a bit, y'all.